increasing traffic due to a lot of the development to the east, especially on Palomar and H Street. And we were given a lower priority than some of the other areas that had lower traffic, and it was one of the things that we brought up, myself and another gentleman on the committee, to have that looked at again to see if we can take care of some of the issues at our grade crossings, because we have such an immense amount of traffic. We also have more trolley trips than the other areas. We have a greater frequency of trips. So that's something that we're going to keep an eye on and see if we get some funds actually rerouted toward the higher need. It appeared that accidents were the reason why the main factor that they listed, although there are other factors. Just want to put that out as an informational thing. I went to a meeting of California coastal cities. It was the mayor was there as well, and this is just a little aside. When I was first elected, I went to Sacramento to a league meeting, and I met a mayor from Crescent City, California, which coincidentally is just like we are, except on the other end of the state, the furthest northwest city in California. And I had spoke to the mayor at that time, and it came back up again, that we should maybe look at being sister cities for whatever we have in common that we might be able to share. And that's about all I have to report right now.
Thank you. And I too attended several sessions of the League of California Cities Conference, along with the Coastal Cities Issues Group with Mr. King and the city manager. It was very informative. Of course, everybody's complaining mostly about what Sacramento does to local governments, and hopefully in the next few months we'll hear what the people really think about some of those things. Moving on to communications from city staff. Mr. Brown, do you have anything at the moment?
Sir.
Thank you. Public comment. I have one public speaker slip at this moment. Mr. Kravitz. As you know, we're limiting to 3 minutes.
I think I 3 minutes. Good evening, council members, staff, my fellow citizens, folks at home watching on TV. I'm the editor of SaveIB.com, the local website, which most of you don't care for because of the content is not pro-incumbent. I have been trying to get the video stream from this camera on the wall since January of '08. I came in here a long time ago after you put this equipment in. I've been to this council at least 5 times to discuss with you the fact that you don't post this information in the Eagle Times prior to the public meetings, and asking for this video feed. We were here in January with the Turco files. We were told at that time that the video feed existed, but you didn't record it, therefore it wasn't a public record, and you weren't going to give it to me. I was here again in April and asked you folks to agendize my request to allow me to have the video stream so that I could uplink it to the internet and distribute it and stream it for free to the people of Imperial Beach and others who are interested. You refused to agendize my item, but you did vote to put it on cable television on Cox Cable. Several months went by with nothing on Cox Cable, and then about 30-some days ago, a little bit more than that, you broadcast your first meeting on Cox Cable. There was an article in the Union Tribune that said that it was being rebroadcast, which means that a recording exists. So now there is a public record, which I requested 32 days ago from the clerk's office. I requested, as a public records request, the recording or the video feed from that camera paid for with taxpayers' money on the wall. And the clerk has systematically ignored my requests again. You shouted me out of here last April, Mayor Janney, claiming and professing that you were open to transparency in government, and that by putting it on Cox Cable you were transparent. However, this discriminates against all the people who don't have a subscription to Cox Cable. If you have Dish Network, DirecTV, or use an antenna, or you live outside the city limits of Imperial Beach and want to see it, you can't get it. So I'm asking you one more time to agendize my issue and have the council actually vote on it instead of staff dictating that I can't have it. I want you guys to vote on it. Mr. Brown, you think you can do that? It's been 3 years. Now, I can see why you don't want these deliberations on TV and too many people seeing it. Because I feel, and I think many other people are starting to realize, that what you do here is not a real deliberation at all. It's a play. It's an act. It's scripted. It's all done before we ever even come in here. So what we say here doesn't really make any difference. You're getting ready to have an election in this town, and people are still fooled and don't realize that what you're doing is closed session, consent agenda items, and secret government. We want that video.
Mr. Kravitz, your time is up.
Okay, I will support whoever runs against you, Mr. Janney, and anybody that you endorse, Diane Rose. They should
Mr.
be
Kravitz, your time is up.
Thank you. I hope you're listening at home. Don't forget to vote.
Moving on to consent calendar items 2.1 through 2.8, and we've postponed item 2.4. I entertain a motion. Where? Sorry. Hang on, Mr. Carr. I'm sorry. I only had one in front of me. Mr. Carr, you can come on up now.
Good evening. My name is John Carr. I live at 1003 Elm Avenue in Imperial Beach. I was at a city council meeting about a year and a half ago, Mr. Janney, when you said that the new general plan said that the city should relinquish the 80-foot right-of-way on Elm Avenue. And after saying that comment, you turned to Mr. Wade and you said, so as I understand it, Mr. Wade, if somebody wants to make use of that, the answer is going to be yes. Now, it's on the tape recording. I have it at home. And so I came down to make use of it, and I put in a request to extend our balcony on Elm Avenue to Mr. Wade. Mr. Wade told me I would have to, that he took the issue to the city council, that the city council said that I would have to initiate and pay for a comprehensive traffic study for all of Elm Avenue before this plan could go any further. Now, I think in its small part, it's a perfect RDA development thing. You'd get the people involved in Elm Avenue, they'd fix up their houses, they'd build nicer places, they could do their yard, and yet to require them, or one of them, to pay for a comprehensive traffic study plan of Elm Avenue doesn't make sense. The whole nice part of this RDA and things getting better around this town has come to a standstill because nobody's going to do it. Two, if an individual does it, the city can say, that's a biased report. That person who did the report is being paid by them. Of course they're going to rule in their favor. This is not the kind of study that should be initiated or be required to be initiated by a single individual in this city. It's a perfect RDA thing, and it's a shame that it came to a standstill. I don't understand it. You wouldn't have probably put it in that the city should give away the 80-foot right-of-way or relinquish part of it if you hadn't already studied the traffic on Elm Avenue. Second issue is, I can't help but notice that there are some similarities, serious similarities between Imperial Beach and Bell, California. One is, I've lived here 20 years. I've seen new fees that would never existed before. Those fees get increased. Sewers, trash pickup, business license fees. And in 20 years, I've never recalled one of them being put to a vote of the people. Ever. The second thing is that they also criticized the Bell City Council people for not publishing what they were making when they were sitting as RDA or as the City of Imperial Beach does, the Planning Commission and the Public Finance Authority. And I remember about 8 years ago, you also sat as some kind of water commission board. So I'd like to ask Mr. Brown tonight if you're aware of these positions are salaried, if they are, what the senior people make, and do you personally ever recall any vote of the people ever being asked for in any of these increase in fees in your tenure in office?
Mr. Carr, you know that we're not able to respond to items that are brought up in public comment.
I didn't. I thought that just applied to city council people. I didn't know Mr. Brown couldn't.
Not at this time, no.
Fair enough. I throw that out for what it's worth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving back to consent calendar items 2.1 through 2.8, with the exception of item 2.4, entertain a motion.